No one likes the dentist.
Agreed.
Yeah. I was saying burns. All these people tweeting about covering basketball.
I know, it's doesn't it make you very happy that we have the jobs that we have?
Not covering basketball right now. By the way, your mic is about to fall off. See how it's unscrewed there?
Where?
Right? Yeah. Just keep an eye on it. Maybe you don't need to fix it this one. But just, something to keep an eye on. Oh. Yep. Yep. Oh, the show's starting late because Greg's doing this. No. I don't know. Ah!
Yes, y'all. It is DCTF Live for Wednesday, December 30th, 2015. If you've got a New Year's resolution for 2015, you probably better hurry up and get that thing done. My name is Greg Tepper, managing editor of Dave Campbell's Texas Football and TexasFootball.com. That guy over there is Max Thompson.
Hello, Greg.
He's the director of digital for all those fun things as well. This is episode number 45, the Derek Holland episode.
Dutch.
Or the R.A. Dickey episode.
Dutch.
We are a daily live show here talking about football in the state of Texas, and there was some football in the state of Texas last night that we'll get to in a moment. But first of all, Max.
There's a first of all?
I want to talk about where you're going after this.
Oh, okay.
The
all right.
dentist.
Going to the dentist. Yeah.
Sounds like it sucks.
We'll see. Here's what I know. This is actually a 5-month checkup, not a 6-month, just for cleaning and all that stuff. But I do think, I'm 95% sure, a filling fell out.
Ugh.
So we're gonna get that re-drilled and refilled.
I used to hate the dentist, but now I'm just numb to it because of the old. These three are, if you guys don't know, these three teeth are fake.
Oh.
Because,
Hockey.
Do you not know the story?
All the hockey you've played.
All the hockey I played. No, I 6 months before my wedding in 2012, I went to the gym and decided to try to eat a sink, and didn't go so great, Bob.
Why would you try to eat a sink?
Well, I kind
May have slipped.
Kind of fainted.
Oh.
And,
wow.
Yeah. It was after a workout, and I hadn't eaten for like 6 hours. So my big lot in life is telling people to eat before they go work out.
Good to faint the other way.
Yeah, fall back.
Not on your face.
Yeah. I went. I basically I tried to go and splash water on my face because I felt myself not feeling good, and I go gunk right into a granite sink.
Teeth gone.
These three,
Yeah.
all gone. So I got to spend about 5 months every week or so going to the dentist to fix it before my then fiance, now wife, who was a real trooper in this and really could have freaked out.
That wasn't the red flag for her?
Oh my God. She was like, I'm gonna marry some dude with no teeth. But shout out to my dentist who got it done. But when
you did get married in Missouri. So.
Sure. When you do something like that, and you get just a lot of dentist visits at once.
Yeah.
Dentists don't bother me anymore.
See, here's the thing. As a kid, in preparation for braces, I had something like 12 teeth pulled by the dentist.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes before they'd even grown in.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm in a similar situation. There have been times, and this isn't, oh, I'm tough, watch this, where I don't even want to be there long enough for the Novocaine to kick in.
Yeah.
Just start drilling.
Yeah.
It's going to hurt for 5 minutes, and then we'll be out of here.
I get it. I'm also. Have you had the? And I promise we'll talk about football in a moment. Have you had the Novocaine shot in the top of your mouth?
Oh yeah.
That's the seventh circle of hell.
Oh yeah.
That's the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, I've had Novocaine shots all over this mouth. At this point, I'm just kind of whatever. The problem is I'm one of those people it takes a long time for it to kick in.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like they're sitting around waiting 15,
because they got to get all the
20
booze
minutes.
out of your system first.
Yeah, exactly. They got to make room.
Yeah.
And it ends up being like, just start. I don't care if it's not going to kick in. I just don't want to be here anymore.
I'm with you. There's nothing worse than the 2.5 hour visit to the dentist. And by the time you're just like, I don't care, just finish it. Like I don't care if it hurts. So.
Yeah.
Enjoy your dentist visit.
I'm very much looking forward to it.
I will not be doing it.
And then we're going to tape the final episode of the year after my dentist visit.
And the final episode of the year tomorrow, when you find folks will be watching it on TexasFootball.com or listening to it on the podcast. We're going to reveal what you're doing for New Year's. Our New Year's plans.
Oh, is that when we're going to do that?
Yeah, we'll do it.
Okay. All right.
There was football last night.
Yep.
2 bowl games. We'll start with the positives. Hey, Baylor. Who needs a quarterback, right?
Right.
Who needs a quarterback? A year after setting a bowl record for passing yards in a game, Baylor then sets a bowl record for rushing yards in a game.
Yeah.
In a 49-38 romp of North Carolina. And North Carolina never really – it was close in the first half. It was close at times in this game, but I never really felt like Baylor was going to lose this game.
No.
It was really impressive to see. Chris Johnson goes all of 7 of 12 passing. The numbers here, if you follow Baylor, are kind of silly. They ran the ball. First of all, they ran 102 plays, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So they kept up the pace.
Yeah.
But beyond that, they ran the ball 84 times.
That's a lot.
84 times, averaging 7.7 yards a carry. Johnny Jefferson goes for almost 300. Devin Chafin goes for 161. They threw 5 different quarterbacks back there. It was really interesting to watch. It's almost as if Art Briles wanted a challenge just so he could. It's kind of like how you go and you intentionally pick out that 5,000-piece puzzle, knowing it's going to be tough, but you're like, nah, I can do this.
I'd just like to point out that none of this makes sense, so Baylor will win prediction came through.
Pretty much came through.
It was just the weirdest game possible.
And in hindsight, we mentioned it yesterday that North Carolina is not a good team against the run.
And the other thing is, I feel like this is an incredible indictment on the ACC.
Oh, my God. That's honestly, that's kind of what I came away thinking is on one hand, we want to say, wow, what a performance by Baylor. Fantastic job. A worthy victor in this game. Yeah. On the other hand, I want to say, how embarrassing for the ACC.
That team was like 1 win away from having an argument for being in the playoff.
How embarrassing for North Carolina and the ACC.
Yeah.
That you go in and you take on a team basically in your own backyard, by the way.
Without if you want to include Seth Russell, 4 of your best players can't play in this game.
Yeah, they cannot play in this game. And you let them roll up 645 yards rushing
with a completely different offensive plan than they would ever roll out.
They basically ran the slot T last night.
The only defense you can say is, well, clearly there's no film on 84 rushes against you in a game. You're not expecting that.
But honestly, that whole game came down to the fact that the North Carolina defensive line was getting its butt handed to it.
And Baylor's offensive line, arguably the best in the nation.
It was good. It was very good. Although at times, I didn't think you go back to the to the TCU game, they did not play well.
No.
But they showed up in this one, and they showed out, and it was really impressive to watch. And again, it's like telling Steph Curry to play with one hand tied behind his back. You know what I mean? That's what you're doing to Art Briles. It's like, hey, okay, we're going to take away all these weapons. Now you figure it out. Yeah. And he still ran for 645 yards. Pretty remarkable stuff. Baylor gets their 3rd bowl win under Briles. Bryles, I mentioned this yesterday, Bryles improves to 3-7 in bowl games, which is remarkable in the sense that here's this guy who's succeeded everywhere he's gone. He's been this top-tier elite coach, and yet in bowl games it's just been his bugaboo.
Yeah.
But they get a great win last night, the Russell Athletic Bowl champions. There were times I thought Marquise Williams, the quarterback for North Carolina, was pretty good. He actually impressed me at a lot of
He's had a nice year ever since the South Carolina game.
He really has, but in the end, this game came down to the fact that Baylor ran roughshod over them. And as you mentioned, you want to give a lot of credit to Baylor and worthy credit, but a lot of this comes back and you go, goodness gracious, North Carolina. That's a dumpster fire of a performance.
Not very good.
The other bowl game last night, less fun for the state of Texas. Kind of what we thought was going to happen happened. It took a while, and I'll tell you, if you're a Tech fan, all you do is you point to Pat Mahomes and you go, that's our guy. That dude can ball. Jakeem Grant, my goodness, what a performance from him last night. But it came down to what we thought it was going to come down to, which is Tech having to stop the run. And Leonard Fournette ran for 212 and 4 touchdowns. LSU as a team runs for 384 on Tech. And that's all she wrote, as LSU wins 56-27.
It took LSU an alarming amount of time to figure it out.
The entire time, every time Brandon Harris
drops back. Who did you think you were playing?
Every time Brandon Harris drops back to pass, I go, that's a dumb play. What are you doing? There's no point in passing ever. He threw 22 times. That's 21 times too many, because one time you got to pull it back for play action.
It was
you have to run that ball. The fact that they threw 22 times is a fireable offense for Cam Cameron.
Yeah.
Now, they end up hanging 56 on him, but still, that game was, for a team that couldn't stop the run, that everyone in the world knows what the book is on Texas Tech's defense. Why in the world are you passing? But
no idea.
I'll tell you again, Pat Mahomes impressed the heck out of me. That's not necessarily breaking news.
No.
That he's awesome.
He's been awesome all year. Awesome.
They didn't get much of a running game, not that they really needed it. Jakeem Grant had a great game in what is his final game as a Texas Tech Red Raider. I really hope someone gets a shot in the league. I know he's undersized. I know he's 5'7", but that dude's got speed for days.
Speed kills.
But it just came down to Leonard Fournette, and Tech had no answer for him. Every time he wanted it, he had what he wanted, and he runs for 212, 7.5 yards a carry, and Tech falls. They finished the year 7-6, and of course, there is another bowl game today. It is the, as you so aptly put it, the Franklin American Mortgage Music City Bowl presented by Wachovia in partnership with Pringles, as Texas A&M, or what's left of Texas A&M, will take on Louisville. And if you had asked me who was going to win this game 3 weeks ago, I would have said, A&M in a romp. I just don't think Louisville's very good.
Sure. And
I think that A&M's played a much tougher schedule.
But, Greg, what if Texas A&M's top 2 quarterbacks suddenly weren't available for that game?
You mean like they aren't? As Kyle Allen has transferred, Kyler Murray has transferred to Oklahoma, so it will be the Jake Hubenak show. Which is, we've said before, we like Jake Hubenak. I don't know if I like Jake Hubenak starting a bowl game on pretty much 10 days notice, but this is a Louisville team that honestly is just kind of average. There's not a whole lot of special about this.
Hey,
Louisville. You're
not special.
This is a great sports point. If you're looking for something, you say, okay, their defense is pretty good, and it's true, they are, and that's probably going to give for an A&M team that has had trouble, getting anything going, offensively. This is bad news for A&M, especially with their backup quarterback. The other thing about it is that Louisville is particularly good against the run.
Yes.
So that then says, okay, Jake Hubenak, here you go, bud.
Yep.
Like, you got to go and lead us to the promised land. It's going to be tough. I think that the A&M. I don't think that the LSU the Louisville offense is Louisville. I'm sorry,
Louisville
is particularly potent. I think that this is it's a Louisville offense that's nothing really to write home about. The way that they want to win this game is running the ball. This is not a team that wants to put the ball in the air a lot. They want to turn around and hand the ball off to their running back Brandon Radcliffe, and then they want to run the ball with their dual threat quarterback Lamar Jackson. It's going to be up to the front seven of the A&M team to keep them in this. And I'll tell you that this is another game where the offensive line's got to take over. You're going up against a very good front seven. The offensive line's got to take over and get a good running game when you've got a third string quarterback back there.
Yeah.
I don't know. Again, if they had Kyler Murray, who hasn't been great this year, but even if they had Kyler Murray, I'd say, okay, well, A&M's probably a favorite in this one. I'll tell you that if you're into odds making, which I most certainly am, the line has moved big time. It opened at 2.5. A&M a 2.5 point favorite. They are now a 4-point dog. So it's moved a whole touchdown. There's not a whole
still that it's that close.
There's not a whole lot of faith. Well, it's because Louisville's not that good.
No, I get it.
There's not a whole lot of faith in A&M to pull this one out. I don't know if they can. I'm gonna take them because I'm just a blatant state of Texas homer.
Yeah.
I'm still gonna pick A&M, but I don't know. It's a weird game. It depends on how Jake Hubenak plays. The one thing that A&M has in their favor is that Kevin Sumlin, kind of opposite of Art Briles. Kevin Sumlin, very good in bowl games.
Yeah.
He always seems to have his team ready to play in a bowl game. We'll see if that's the case. I'm taking A&M. I think I took Louisville in the video, so that just tells you where I'm at on this game.
This one is as confusing as the Baylor game was, but this time I don't see like some weird way that A&M pulls this off, unless Louisville just plays like trash.
That's basically. I think they'd have to rely on that, but that's what we think. So what do you think? What do you think is gonna win? Let us know. #DCTF Live. Let me tell you about the Subway Super Team. We are closing in. We've got 48 hours to vote now. TexasFootball.com/Subway Super Team. We have teamed up with Subway to put together a high school football all-star team. If you have a favorite player that you want to be seen honored as one of the best players in Texas high school football in 2015, log on to TexasFootball.com/Subway Super Team and vote for him. Maybe you don't see him on the ballot. That's okay. We've got a little write-in place where you can write in anybody's name. Most votes will go and be named to the Subway Super Team. A great honor to be named as one of the best players in Texas high school football in 2015. TexasFootball.com/Subway Super Team. You can vote once per day, every day, until the clock strikes midnight on 2015. So you've got 48 or about 36 more hours to vote. So TexasFootball.com/Subway Super Team. And now, Maximilian,
oh boy,
we are going to hand out some awards. I'm a big fan of awards. I think awards are fun.
Okay.
And we've come up with a catchy title for our awards platform.
Catchy's a word.
It's called the Liveys.
The Liveys.
The DCTF Live Awards, the Liveys.
I wish we had like some sort of theme song, like I don't know,
like triumphant music.
I don't know, or the
or
old
like
tonight,
or like a live orchestra. What's in our budget as far as live orchestras?
I'm sure that a high school would be happy to volunteer their band at some point.
Next year, high school bands out there,
come up with a theme for the Livey Awards.
If you want to come in and play the theme to the Liveys, we will let you. Yeah. It'll be great.
Or we'll come to your school and we'll record it.
Email Max, awesome. max.thompson@highfieldmarketing.com.
Or at us at DCTF.
We are going to do the Livey Awards. We're going to do the high school Liveys today. We're going to do the college Liveys tomorrow. Just honoring the best and brightest in Texas high school football in 2015.
As one does.
So we will start. We'll just
high school today.
High school today. That's right.
College tomorrow.
Team of the year.
Ooh boy.
This is a tough one. I think there are a lot of candidates here. I think that for real, you have to go with a team that won a state championship, right? So that narrows it down to 12.
Sure.
And I think you want to go for a team that was the most dominant.
Yeah.
Okay? Mm-hmm. And to me, that narrows it down to 2 teams. Yep. And we've had this conversation. You've got Katy, the 6A Division II state champions who rolled past everyone. Their romp in the title game over Lake Travis was really impressive. Their defense is maybe one of the best we've ever seen.
Pretty nasty.
And then you've got Canadian in 2A Division I.
Yeah.
A team that just clobbered everyone in their path.
Yep.
Another outstanding defense. Another ridiculous offense. This is a tough one. This was a tough one that I had to come up, that I ended up coming up with. And we may actually differ on this. But for me, the 2015 Livy Award for High School Team of the Year goes to the Canadian Wildcats. I think that pound for pound, they were the best team in the state. I think they ran through a gauntlet of a schedule. And I think that they went through pretty much every team that you could say was in their weight class, and they didn't beat them. They demolished them.
I think that's pretty fair.
I think pound for pound, Canadian is probably the best team in the state of Texas in 2015.
Yeah.
That's my pick. I think Katie's in that conversation as well. But for me, I have to go with the Canadian Wildcats. My pick for the Livy Award for 2015.
Well, your pick is all that matters, but what you don't know is I made these picks last night myself as well.
Oh, did you?
Canadian was my team.
All right.
So
okay.
We're in agreement
We're in
there.
agreement.
I just think, well, what Katie did speaks for itself.
Sure.
We may never see a defense that dominant again at any level.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Canadian probably could have won at least 2 state titles above them.
I think they could have won both 3A titles.
Yeah, and you could make the case on the right day. Maybe they could have competed in the 4A Division II.
I think on the right day, I think they'd give West Orange Stark a run.
A run.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, granted, there's no class above Katy for us to go, oh, well, they could have competed with those guys.
Sure.
And maybe they could have. But for me, Canadian.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now we move on. Coach of the Year.
We differ here.
We do?
Yeah.
My pick for the Livy Award for Coach of the Year is Gary Joseph at Katy. Yep. And for all the reasons we listed, I think that he got these kids pulling in the right direction, and to bounce back, I think, from 2 straight real crushing state title game losses, and to say, guys, this is the year. We can do this. And to overcome injuries to Kyle Porter, and a lot of guys were banged up along the way, and to field one of the most dominant defenses in state history. It's same song, different verse for one of the greatest coaches in Texas high school football history. Gary Joseph gets my Livy Award for Coach of the Year.
I went with John Kay.
Interesting.
And Same area. Not to take anything away from Mr. Joseph, who is proven himself
his credentials
over and over and over.
Just look at his resume.
But here's what I love about John Kay. Obviously, not working with the same kind of group of kids, right? Katy kids come rolling in from all over those districts. Mm-hmm. This is a coach who aggressively scheduled. His team took its lumps early on, and yet they found a way to persevere through the very end into overtime and beat Westlake in a gauntlet of a state title run. And that's an impressive job.
Yeah.
With the injuries they dealt with, Micaiah Long wasn't healthy all year. To have lost so many close games early on to teams that you need to beat to show your team, hey, we can win a state title. And they didn't win those games and still ended up winning a state title. I just think, man, to get those guys to rally, to pull it together for those final 6 games, and then to hang on and find a way to beat Westlake at the end, it's
a great pick. It's a great pick. I can't argue against it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of guys who could have been in the running for this, and I think either one of those are very, very worthy.
I think so, too.
Player of the Year. This isn't going to be any sort of surprise, I don't think, and I would imagine we agree. It's our Mr. Texas Football Player of the Year. He was honored last night at the Texas Bowl.
How could you do anything any different?
It's got to be Jet Duffy, right?
It's got to be Jet Duffy.
Now, I won't say it's a runaway. We mentioned that it was a very tough decision for Mr. Texas Football.
Do we pull back the curtain on Mr. Texas Football right now and talk about the players we were considering at the very end?
I can tell you that Canadian quarterback Tanner Schaefer was very much in the conversation.
Yes, he was.
I can tell you that Mansfield running back Kennedy Brooks was very much in the conversation.
Very much in the conversation.
I can tell you that Lake Travis quarterback Charlie Brewer was very much in the conversation. Kyle Porter at Katy. Trevor Spates at McAllen Memorial. Yep. We had a list. I'll tell you that going into like 3 weeks before we had to have a name a winner, we had a list of about 12 guys that we could say,
Yeah.
we could totally give it to him.
Sure.
Ed Oliver at Spring Westfield.
Yeah.
Patty Fisher at Katy.
Yep.
A number of different players that were more than worthy of this award. Unfortunately, there's only one.
Right.
And for us, the guy who stood out and put on the cape and was the best player in the state of Texas in 2015 was Jet Duffy, the quarterback at Mansfield Lake Ridge, our Mr. Texas Football Player of the Year. So that's who we went with. Now, Game of the Year. And there's a lot of different ways to go with this. We left this purposefully vague because we want it to be – it doesn't have to be the closest game. It doesn't have to be the most exciting game.
The best teams.
It doesn't have to be the best teams. It's just the game that you'll always remember from this season.
Sure.
For me, and this is going to sound crazy, the day before Halloween between two teams that finished a combined 4-15.
Ooh.
Jersey Village 74, Cywood 73.
It's a good pick. It's a good pick.
Just a wild. Jersey Village takes a 27-13 lead after the first quarter. Cywood outscores them 25-6 in the second quarter. It goes back and forth. It ends up being decided on Christian Green's 21-yard touchdown pass from Deshaun Qualls with 1:17 left. That was Qualls' sixth touchdown pass of the game.
Mm-hmm.
These two teams combined for 1,542 yards. Okay? It was craziness.
And the fifth highest scoring total among 11-man teams ever. 147 points. It puts them fifth on the list.
Cywood's had 141 yards in penalties. It was a crazy game. It was as crazy a game as you will ever see in Texas high school football.
Yeah.
And that's why, for me, it's my pick for the game of the year. It wasn't pretty, and I imagine that both the coaches at Jersey Village and Cywood would like to take this one back and play this game like 21-7.
Yeah.
But for me, I will always remember Jersey Village 74, Cywood 73.
Something I realized pulling photos for this graphic, if we had a Uniform of the Year contest.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, boy, Jersey Village.
Yeah, Jersey Village has
That's
some
sharp
There's some
look.
sharp unis.
The new helmet looks good with those uniforms.
Yeah, they have some sharp unis.
But that's neither here nor there.
Correct. Okay. And then our final Livey Award for the 2015 high school football season.
This is a good one.
The moment of the year. And again, we left this purposefully vague for reasons that sometimes it's a play. Sometimes it's an entire game. Sometimes it's an entire day. I think for me, a good runner-up would be that Saturday of the area round, where it was just ups, or regional semifinals, where it was upset after upset after upset. It was crazy.
It was a crazy day.
It could be a lot of different things, but for me, the moment of the year is when Trevor Spates became the Valley's all-time leading rusher.
It's a good pick.
For those who don't know about the Rio Grande Valley, listen, they know they don't win state titles.
Yeah.
That's not a secret to them.
No.
They know that that the chances of one of the teams making a run and making it to the state championship game are pretty slim. But that's why their area and their region is so important to them, and it's so important what happens there. And Trevor Spate, Brandon Stevens is a name that is still spoken in hushed tones down in the Valley because he's one of the greatest players to ever come out of the Valley. Ended up going to Tech, having a solid career, but he is a legend in the Rio Grande Valley. And so here comes Trevor Spates, this running back at McGowan Memorial who starts churning as a freshman, has a great freshman year, a breakout sophomore year, a fantastic junior year, and coming into his senior year has a chance of becoming the Valley's all-time leading rusher, and does so. And it was the kind of thing that everyone in the Rio Grande Valley celebrated. That here is this guy who has broken an unbreakable record and gone above and beyond and really stamped his legacy as one of the greatest players in Rio Grande Valley history. He's committed to Arizona, I believe.
No, Stanford.
Stanford, that's right. He switches committed.
Bad news for all of us in Texas who love our Texas team.
For sure. But for me, that's the moment of the year, is when he broke that record, and just the swell of support from the Rio Grande Valley as here is our guy.
Right.
This is our guy. That was the moment of the year for me.
That's a good pick.
Yeah?
That's a great
You
pick.
don't mind it?
No, I'll be okay with it.
Okay, that's good. That's good. So those are our Davies. What are we wrong about? Hashtag DCTF.
Liveys.
The Davies. Right, the Liveys. I got to get used to that.
Maybe it should be the Davies.
If you think it should be the Davies, use hashtag DCTF Live Davies. If you think it should be Liveys, hashtag DCTF Live Liveys. And that's going to do it for us. A&M Louisville. You took A&M, right?
No, Louisville.
No, you took Louisville. I'm taking A&M, even though I think I said Louisville in the video.
Yeah,
That's
make
fine.
up your mind.
I will. I will not. Okay, that's going to do it for DCTF Live for today. Thank you for tuning in. Follow us on Twitter at DCTF. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, instagram.com/Dave Campbell's. And, of course, see us at texasfootball.com. Vince Young, please come get your Player of the Year trophy. And we will see you tomorrow for the thrilling season-ending conclusion of DCTF Live.